So how do you become more interesting and attractive to the other person? You find somebody you like, you want them to be interested in you and attracted to you, and hopefully aroused by you. The funny irony about being interesting and attractive is that it has much less to do with what most people imagine being interesting has to do with, which is pretending, aggrandizing, embellishing, pretending to be faster, stronger, wiser, better than you are now. Now, do you want to know how to become more interesting and attractive to the other person? Here's the funny irony. You could become interesting now at any aspect of your life, at any point in your life. You could be interesting and attractive. You just have to understand the fundamentals and appreciate the fundamentals of interest and attraction. So are you ready to learn them? The number one thing you have to learn and appreciate about being interesting is that for you to be interesting has much more to do with your being interested in them genuinely as a person that they are. And how do you show interest in them? You find out what they like, what they don't like, what they're into, and elaborate on what they talk about. Rather than just getting the information and skipping over it, elaborate more on what they're talking about. Elaborate more on what they demonstrate interest in. In fact, this is actually a pretty dangerous tool. What do you mean? It's dangerous because you're going to come across a lot of people who are going to be interested in you because you show genuine interest in other people. And so they find you incredibly interesting. Now, the other thing you have to appreciate about being interesting is that rather than looking for things that are interesting to the other person or to whomever, to your audience, rather than looking for things to say or for things to talk about or for interesting things that they might be into, I suggest you go about it a different manner. From a top-down approach, I suggest you live a life that you find interesting. You do things that you love. You live the life you love and do things you enjoy. And as a result, you'll get laid like a rock star. That's a cheeky way of saying that rather than looking for things, interesting things to talk about or interesting things to say, live the life that you want. Talk about things that you love, that you find passion in, that you enjoy. Live a life that you enjoy. Be able to communicate about them in a way that's appreciable to other people. And they will sense in you your love for life, your zest for life, your energy, your interest in yourself. You're loving and honoring the things that you enjoy. And they will admire you for this and they will gravitate towards you for this. Because here's the problem. From my 13 plus years of experience as a dating and relationships consultant, here's the problem. People will walk into a room despite they're seeing a lot of people in that room. They're actually walking into an empty room. Let that sink into your mind as I talk about the next one. The next thing about being interesting is that let's talk about attraction. How do you become attractive? How do you become interesting and how do you become attractive? To be attractive, it's different for a man and a woman. And men project that what women like, and they project that onto themselves, and women project what they like about men. Let me say that in the correct fashion. Men and women project. Men imagine that they like certain things about women, and so they imagine those things that they have to do because they project that since women like these things about men, or since they like these things about women, they project those qualities. And women project that they imagine that they like men like certain things about them, and so they project those qualities onto the men. But here's the problem. Women and men are aroused in different ways. And here's the different ways. A man is attracted and aroused with a woman if she has two qualities. They're very easy qualities. It's so funny. The qualities are you ready to learn them? She has to be attractive enough and appear willing. That's it. She just has to be attractive enough and appear willing. For a woman, for her to be aroused, attraction will get a man about 20 seconds into a conversation, 60 seconds, after which she has to recognize the four qualities that makes a man attractive. The four qualities are, if you're a man listening to pay attention, the four qualities that will get a woman aroused. In other words, any man who is attracted to a woman has those two qualities. And any woman who has attraction for a man has these four qualities in that man, that exists in that man. And it's not he's attractive enough and appears willing. It's not that. That's what the man's attracted to. For a woman, she requires four qualities for her to be attracted. Are you ready? Number one is that he has to demonstrate he loves, honors, and respects himself. Number two thing he must demonstrate is that he loves and appreciates women. He doesn't, in other words, he doesn't have any contentions about there being women and doing women things. He doesn't have anything against women, and he appreciates women. In other words, he understands women. He becomes attractive. And unfortunately, many men don't have that very one thing, an appreciation for women. Number three thing he must demonstrate is that he has to demonstrate he has the comfort to lead. And number four thing, a really important thing that he must demonstrate, and he has to demonstrate these four things for any woman to be attracted to him. The number four thing has to demonstrate genuine interest in her as an individual. Got that now? I'm going to explain more of that in other videos, but if you want to learn more about attraction and interest, check out the course, link in my bio, the SOR System for Relationships. It's the first link. Check it out. It's a free video, and there's a course attached to it, but you can watch the free video. It's 30 minutes. That'll give you an insight on a system that you can apply into relationships. So what did we talk about today? For you to be interesting, you merely have to demonstrate your interest in them, your genuine interest in them. Find out what things they're into, find out what they're not into, find out what things they like, what they're looking for, what their goals are, and make them elaborate on those things that they talk about, rather than just skip over them and just listen to them and not elaborate. That's how you show interest. I'll talk to you in the next video. If you like this, heart it, thumbs up, leave a comment below if you have any thoughts. I'd love to hear your input, and share this video with other people. You're making the world a better place for all of us. Bye.
Give it to me like